Have you ever, paused on a really busy day just to watch sunlight filtering through autumn leaves? Or maybe stop to really listen to a child's laughter, that pure, simple joy. In those moments, those moments of real presence, something kind of shifts inside us. It's like a doorway opens up,
Yeah, a deeper awareness starts to bloom, doesn't it? It's
right?
a feeling that sticks with you.
Exactly. It resonates. So, okay, let's unpack this a bit. Today, we're taking a deep dive into something genuinely transformative. It's a concept that thinkers like Dr. Nader Attalla and many others really champion as a cornerstone of well-being. We're talking about gratitude.
Gratitude. It's a word we hear a lot, maybe even sounds a bit like a platitude sometimes.
Right. But what does it really mean? And, more importantly, how does it actually change our lives day to day? So our mission for this deep dive is to pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge from our sources on gratitude. We want to help you, our listener, really grasp its profound nature and figure out how to apply it practically. We're going way beyond the surface here, from ancient wisdom all the way to cutting-edge modern science. We'll explore its impact on well-being, relationships, even society.
And what's really fascinating, I think, is just the sheer breadth of insight our sources offer today. It's quite comprehensive. We're not just, touching on one little aspect. We're moving pretty seamlessly from the philosophical roots of gratitude, like where it comes from in human experience, all the way to its measurable effects on our physical health, our psychological state, and, yeah, the very fabric of our relationship.
Measurable effects, that's key.
Definitely. So this deep dive isn't just about understanding some abstract concept. It's about exploring a tangible, practical reality, something that can genuinely transform your daily experience. Whether you're, say, prepping for a big meeting, trying to get up to speed on a field, or maybe you're just incredibly curious. These insights have real-world value.
Absolutely.
We'll trace that journey, how gratitude can shift from just, occasional thankfulness for the big, obvious things, into a persistent state of mind, a state that kind of operates independently of whatever's going on externally.
Independent of circumstances. That sounds powerful.
It is. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, you'll start to see how this deeper gratitude helps people connect to something larger than themselves, whether that's other people or nature or maybe a sense of a higher power. It's really about recognizing how interconnected everything is. A remarkable journey, truly.
Okay, so let's start right at the beginning then. What is gratitude? The word itself, our sources point out, comes from the Latin gratia, which means things like gratefulness, thankfulness,
Yeah.
even grace. So simply put, it's a state of thankfulness or being grateful.
Right, that's the basic definition.
But to really get it, the Harvard Medical School definition helps. They say it's a thankful appreciation for what an individual receives, whether tangible or intangible. And this next part is crucial. With gratitude, people acknowledge the goodness in their lives. Acknowledge the goodness.
That acknowledgement piece is key. It's active.
It really is. Because it's not about what you have, materially speaking. It's about what you perceive. I mean, think about it. You can be surrounded by simple treasures right this second. The warmth of your coffee mug, maybe the hum of the fridge, the smell of rain outside, or just your own breath, right?
Right.
But are you actually perceiving them? Are you letting yourself notice the extraordinary in the ordinary?
Or are we just rushing through, ticking off the to-do list?
Exactly. Without acknowledging these quiet gifts. That difference in perception, that conscious act of noticing and valuing, that's where the gratitude journey really starts.
It's like you said, having that superpower to spot the hidden gems that others might just walk past.
Yeah, totally. Those gems hidden in plain sight.
And this perception, it's way more than just a fleeting feeling, as you highlighted. Our sources really dig into how gratitude transforms as we grow, especially, say, spiritually. It shifts from that occasional thankfulness, I'm grateful for this promotion or grateful for this sunny day, into something much more persistent, an abiding state of mind.
Regardless of what's happening outside.
Precisely. And that's where this idea of unconditional gratitude comes in. It's profound. It means cultivating the capacity to honor all life experiences. The pleasant ones, sure, but also the painful ones.
Yeah.
The things we understand and the things that seem totally mysterious.
Honoring the painful stuff, too.
Yeah.
That sounds difficult.
It is difficult. It's about learning to live gratefully, even when things are chaotic, uncertain, challenging. Our sources actually call this the high road of spiritual development. And let's be honest, it's rare to meet someone who has fully mastered this, someone who isn't caught up in life's dramas or constant reactions.
Yeah, very rare.
But, and this is important, our sources are really clear, this level of gratitude can be cultivated. It starts with consciously choosing to reframe how we see things, how we respond. Which brings up that crucial question. Can we genuinely find gratitude even when things are incredibly hard? When life feels overwhelming or unfair?
Right, can we?
Our sources suggest we absolutely can. And when we do, it's like our hearts are lifted, our spirits quieted. It guides us towards this deep inner peace, this abiding joy that isn't dependent on circumstances.
So it's a shift away from being reactive.
Exactly. From being swept away by emotions to embracing a deeper sense of contentment, equanimity, really.
Okay, now this is where, for me, it gets really interesting. When gratitude isn't just something you do sometimes, but it becomes your default setting, your lens on the world, something almost magical starts to happen, not just inside, but out there too.
Right. The sources use that analogy, the pebble creating ripples in water. It's a great visual.
It really is. Because that consistent gratitude, it goes way beyond just momentary appreciation. When we consciously choose thankfulness for, well, all of life's experiences, we start to notice something amazing. We actually begin to attract more positive changes. We develop a more optimistic outlook.
And this isn't just like wishful thinking or manifestation talk.
No, exactly. It's practical, observable stuff that happens in our daily lives. It creates real shifts. Think about your relationships, your closest ones. Say you consciously focus on your partner's strengths, their kindness, their humor, whatever it is, instead of, keeping a running tally of their flaws.
Which is easy to do sometimes.
Well, absolutely. But when you focus on the good, what usually happens, they often bloom under that appreciation, right? They become more loving, more attentive, more supportive.
It's like watering a plant, like you said. Positive attention helps it thrive.
Totally. And it's similar at work. Approaching your job with genuine gratitude for the opportunity, the challenges, the colleagues, it usually boosts your productivity and engagement. And that can lead to recognition, maybe advancement, a more fulfilling career overall.
It becomes the self-reinforcing dynamic, what the sources call the grateful circle.
The grateful circle. I love that. It's like this upward spiral of positivity lifting everything it touches.
Exactly.
Just imagine for a second how your own relationships or your work life could shift with that one change in perspective. It's huge, a potential game changer.
And let's flip that for a moment. Consider the opposite. Imagine carrying this heavy backpack. It's full of stones, right? And each stone is labeled resentment, frustration, guilt. And maybe the heaviest one is labeled pride. Now, really picture the feeling, the lightness, the freedom, if you could just set that backpack down.
Instant relief.
That feeling. That's basically what happens when gratitude starts dissolving those negative emotions. It acts like this potent natural antidote. It works against that nagging guilt, the voice that says, I should be doing something different, or I should be better than this.
That should voice can be so draining.
Totally. But by appreciating what is the present, our circumstances, our worth, instead of always focusing on what should be, we let go of that unnecessary weight. And maybe the most profound part is how gratitude dissolves pride. Our sources really detail this.
Pride is a defense mechanism.
Exactly. It's often rooted in fear of loss, anger, resentment. You know how uncomfortable it can feel being around really prideful people? Yeah, there's this constant need to defend, to justify, to elevate themselves. It creates tension, invites conflict. It's draining. Pride makes us exhaust ourselves defending our truth, our choices, lifestyle, career, politics, whatever. It demands constant vigilance against any perceived threat to our self-image.
It sounds exhausting just thinking about it.
It is exhausting. But when gratitude replaces pride, our priorities shift dramatically. Instead of defending our view as superior, we start seeking actual truth and honoring differences. Instead of hoarding things as status symbols, we feel this urge to share, to give.
That's a huge shift.
It really is. And it raises a really important question for all of us. How much energy do we pour into defending our pride, fighting these pointless battles? And what could we do if that energy was freed up? Freed for connection, generosity, creativity, peace.
Wow. That energy suddenly becomes available for something much better.
Precisely. It's like dropping this heavy, invisible shield you didn't even realize you were carrying all along.
And the really exciting part, what makes this so compelling, is that this isn't just anecdotal feel-good stuff. It's backed by solid science.
Rigorous research.
Which shows measurable benefits across the board.
Yeah.
Physical, psychological, social. Our sources point to some really compelling findings for physical health. Grateful people consistently report and actually show better overall health. They tend to adopt healthier lifestyles, kind of naturally, and they sleep way better.
Sleep is foundational.
Totally. The mind-body connection is so clear here. Research shows people with regular gratitude practices have stronger immune function.
Like higher levels of protective antibodies, better resistance to illness?
Yeah. And cardiovascular benefits too. Lower blood pressure, less inflammation, healthier heart rate variability. All signs of a more resilient heart system.
The sleep connection is particularly striking too, isn't it?
It really is. Just 5 minutes before bed, reflecting on what you appreciate. Studies show people fall asleep faster, sleep deeper, feel more refreshed.
And that better sleep creates this positive cascade, right? Better immune function, emotional regulation, thinking clearly.
Exactly. And physical recovery too. Plus, they naturally make healthier choices, more exercise, better food, less alcohol, often without forcing it. It's like gratitude recalibrates their internal compass toward well-being.
It's fascinating.
So it's a takeaway. Gratitude isn't just a warm, fuzzy feeling. It's actually rewiring our relationship with self-care, making healthy choices feel more natural, more appealing.
And the how behind that is just as fascinating. We see these measurable changes inside the body. Changes in stress hormones like cortisol, changes in neurotransmitters, shifts in how the nervous system is activated.
So less cortisol, the stress hormone.
Right. Chronic high cortisol suppresses the immune system, harms cardiovascular health, lots of bad stuff. Gratitude seems to lower it. And at the same time, it seems to boost neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin, the ones linked to pleasure, mood, motivation.
So it's changing our internal chemistry.
It appears so, shifting the body away from that chronic fight-or-flight stress response
Sympathetic nervous system.
towards the rest and digest state. Parasympathetic dominance. That's the optimal state for healing, repair, regeneration, for vibrant health.
So stress diverts resources from long-term health, but gratitude helps bring them back.
That seems to be the mechanism. It allows the body to invest in its own resilience and longevity. And the link between better sleep and health is critical. Better sleep means better immunity, emotional balance, clearer thinking, faster recovery. If you think about the long-term impact of these shifts, lower stress, balanced brain chemistry, better rest, it's pretty clear how gratitude could play a huge role in preventing chronic disease and maybe even extending longevity.
It's fundamental for holistic well-being, woven right into our biology.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's talk about the mind, because this is where gratitude really seems to flex its muscles. The research here is super clear too. Grateful people report greater happiness, more life satisfaction. They're less materialistic, which is huge in our culture, and they're remarkably resistant to burnout.
That resistance to burnout is significant.
It really is.
Mm.
And one of the coolest things is how it affects hedonic adaptation.
Ah, yes, the tendency to return to our baseline happiness level.
Right. Win the lottery, you feel great then. Baseline. Buy the new car, exciting then. Just your car.
It can be frustrating.
Totally. But what the sources show is that grateful people have lower hedonic adaptation. That appreciation seems to have this built-in refresh button. They keep finding joy in things others take for granted.
They maintain the appreciation.
Yeah, and this resilience comes from how gratitude literally rewires our attention. Our brains evolved to spot threats, problems, kept us safe from predators.
Survival mechanism.
Exactly. But gratitude practice deliberately redirects that focus. It trains the mind to seek out and notice abundance, possibility, positive experiences, even tiny ones.
It's intentional training.
And over time, this actually creates new neural pathways. It makes optimistic thinking more automatic, more habitual, even when things are tough.
So we can literally train our brains to see the good.
We can. We can override old programming, build a new, more positive default.
And that brain training has massive implications for our emotional health and growth. Grateful people show lower rates of depression and anxiety, not because they avoid tough emotions, but because they develop more emotional flexibility.
Flexibility. How so?
They can acknowledge pain or sadness when it comes up, but they don't lose sight of life's gifts, the lessons, the good stuff that's still there. It stops them getting stuck in those negative cycles.
So they don't get completely consumed by the negative.
Right, and it boosts self-esteem in a really interesting way. Instead of comparing themselves or needing external validation, they find value in recognizing the goodness already in their lives. It builds this internal source of satisfaction, less dependence on praise or approval, more stable confidence.
That sounds much healthier.
Definitely. And research also shows gratitude broadens our capacity for other positive emotions too. More joy, serenity, hope, awe, love. This isn't just about feeling good. It builds psychological resources, makes us more creative, better problem solvers, strengthens social bonds.
It creates those upward spirals of well-being.
Precisely. Grateful people are more generous, more forgiving, more open. It all feeds back positively. And connecting this to the bigger picture, gratitude changes our relationship with time. It helps us savor the present moment, really be here now, instead of always chasing the future or dwelling on the past.
Shifting from scarcity to abundance.
Exactly that, a fundamental shift.
What I love most about this, though, is how accessible it is. The sources really stress this. No special equipment, no training, no specific circumstances needed.
Anyone can do it, anywhere.
Totally. Like the 3 good things practice. So simple, right? Each evening, just write down 3 positive things, however small. And then this is key for Racked on why they felt meaningful.
That why part deepens it.
It does. It trains your brain to notice and remember the good stuff that usually just slips by.
Another great one is savoring routine moments, turning mundane things into gratitude opportunities.
Like your morning coffee, instead of just gulping it down.
Pause. Feel the warmth. Smell the aroma. Enjoy the quiet comfort. Or on your commute, notice something beautiful: clouds, a building, someone's expression.
Those micro moments the sources talk about, they add up.
They really do, like building up an emotional bank account.
And for families or housemates, the gratitude jar idea is lovely. Everyone writes down things they appreciate each week. Then when things get tough, you read them together. It's a collective reminder of the good stuff.
A shared wellspring of joy.
Exactly. You can start these things today, right now. Almost no effort required, but the potential shift is huge.
Which leads us to that really important, sometimes difficult question. How do we find gratitude when things are genuinely hard? When life feels really painful?
Yeah, that's the tough part.
Our sources offer some deeper practices for these times. One is contrast gratitude. This involves comparing your current situation, even if it's bad, to potentially worse outcomes, or remembering past challenges you've overcome.
Okay, but that's not about minimizing the current struggle.
Absolutely not. It's crucial to clarify that. It's not dismissing pain. It's about gaining perspective. Reframing things so despair doesn't take over completely. It's like saying, yes, this is hard and it could be worse, or I've gotten through tough stuff before.
Perspective.
Another powerful one is writing letters of appreciation to people who've positively impacted your life. You don't even have to send them. Just the act of articulating how they helped the specific ways can create huge shifts in your own mood and outlook.
And if you do send them,
then the impact multiplies. For you and for them. It's a beautiful ripple effect.
definitely.
And then there's obstacle gratitude. This is about actively looking for the lessons, the strengths gained, or unexpected gifts that sometimes emerge from difficult experiences.
So not being grateful for the suffering itself.
No, never grateful for the suffering, but grateful for the growth, the resilience, the deeper compassion that challenges can cultivate within us. It's about finding meaning and purpose even in adversity. Like bamboo bending in a storm but not breaking, emerging stronger.
Transforming poison into medicine.
Well put, it's exactly that psychological reframing.
And alongside those practices, there are some crucial mindset shifts needed for deeper gratitude. First, and this is a big one for a lot of us, I think, releasing the if-only trap.
Ah, yes. If only things were different.
Right. If only I had this. That focus on what's missing keeps you stuck in wanting, in deficiency. The key is, when you notice it, gently redirect your attention to something you value right now.
Consciously shifting focus.
Exactly. Second, adjust your focus ratio. Aim for, say, 80% of your mental energy on what you have, and maybe 20% on what you want to aspire to.
That's a significant rebalancing.
It really is. It shifts you from scarcity to abundance, from wanting to appreciating. Third, recognize external goodness. Acknowledge that many blessings come from beyond your own efforts, connects you to interdependence, fosters humility, wonder.
Reminds us we're part of something larger.
Yeah. And finally, this is subtle but important. Avoid comparison-based gratitude. Saying, at least I'm not like them, isn't real gratitude.
That's judgment, not appreciation.
Exactly. True gratitude stands on its own. So what's the bottom line? It's about consciously choosing where you put your attention. Training your mind day by day to see the good.
And these mindset shifts are foundational. They directly impact how we relate to other people, too. Our sources really emphasize how gratitude extends beyond just ourselves. It actively nurtures our connections.
It inspires pro-social behavior, helping others.
Yes, studies show that consistently. And it strengthens relationship bonds. When we appreciate people, we treat them with more kindness, empathy. It creates this virtuous cycle.
A positive feedback loop.
And grateful people tend to see the best in others even during conflict, not ignoring problems, but maintaining awareness of their inherent worth alongside imperfections.
That takes practice.
It does, but research shows grateful individuals express more empathy, forgive more readily, demonstrate more generosity, and there's even a neurological basis. Gratitude literally rewires our brains to notice positive qualities in others more easily. We become attuned to their strengths, their kindnesses.
Building trust and intimacy.
Exactly. Partners, friends, family, everyone feels more valued, more understood when gratitude is part of the interaction. It really makes you think, how can we each be better bridge builders in a world that often feels so fragmented? Gratitude seems like a clear path.
Spot on. And these aren't just abstract ideas. They have really practical applications. Think about your partner. You can transform the relationship by consistently expressing genuine thanks for everyday things. Making dinner, listening, just being there.
Small acknowledgments make a huge difference.
They really do. It creates emotional safety, allows the relationship to deepen. In the workplace, too, a culture of gratitude boosts cohesion, productivity. Colleagues acknowledging efforts leads to higher job satisfaction, more collaboration.
And leaders who show appreciation foster creativity and innovation.
Definitely. And for kids, parents modeling gratitude nurtures their self-worth, social skills, resilience. When kids feel appreciated for who they are, not just what they achieve, it builds a strong foundation.
Huge developmental benefits.
Absolutely huge. Just imagine the ripple effect on your family, your team, your whole community.
And that ripple effect keeps expanding. The sources show gratitude influences broader community connections, too. Grateful individuals volunteer more, donate more generously, show greater concern for social justice. They don't just feel good, they do good.
They become those bridge builders you mentioned.
Exactly. Finding common ground, fostering understanding. This wealth of scientific evidence confirms what wisdom traditions have taught for centuries. A grateful heart transforms our inner and outer reality, from physical health to emotional resilience, personal peace to harmonious relationships. Gratitude's benefits ripple outwards, touching every aspect of life.
It's a powerful force for unity.
A truly powerful force.
And beyond these practical benefits, gratitude also opens up this incredibly profound path to deeper spiritual connection. The sources describe it almost like a sacred lens. Through it, we experience reverence for creation's beauty and maybe for its source.
Seeing the sacredness in everything.
Yeah, not just the obvious beauty, but the inherent sacredness, which leads us to treat everyone with profound respect. People who reach what the sources call full realization, seeing the interconnectedness, moving beyond ego, they literally walk more gently on the earth.
Recognizing the preciousness of all life.
Exactly. Every meal becomes like a sacred offering, acknowledging the sacrifice involved, thanking the earth. We see our place in this intricate web and find peace when all life receives love and respect. The world shifts from exploitation to communion.
Like that Vietnamese proverb, when eating fruit, remember the one who planted the tree.
Beautiful. It encourages thankfulness for ancestors, the earth, the unseen forces. It's moving beyond just appreciation to real awe and belonging.
A connection with nature, with others, with the source.
Yeah.
And what's truly fascinating, perhaps most liberating, is how gratitude for all experiences, not just the nice ones, acts as this master key to lasting joy and peace. We can't control everything that happens. Life brings struggles, illness, loss, conflict. It's unavoidable, as the Buddha observed.
Suffering is part of life.
Right. But we can transform how we perceive these challenges. When we practice unconditional gratitude, we develop this capacity to observe life with mindfulness, non-judgment, acceptance.
Even the hard stuff.
Even the hard stuff. Thich Nhat Hanh said, "With all I have experienced, the power of gratitude stands above everything else." He urged integrating it until it becomes a way of life, feeling positive energy regardless of the situation.
Regardless of the situation. Wow.
And Carl Jung also spoke to this. He said, "Be grateful for your difficulties. They hold blessings. They are necessary for healthy personal growth, individuation, and self-actualization."
So challenge is a catalyst for growth. Individuation becoming your authentic self, right?
Exactly. And self-actualization, fulfilling your potential. Gratitude helps us see struggles as growth opportunities, refining our character, expanding compassion, or maybe as preventions of even worrying problems.
Jung also noted that comparing how things could have been worse fosters gratitude, while comparing how they could have been better breeds bitterness.
A crucial psychological point. Unconditional gratitude cultivates this inner serenity that persists, even when things aren't going our way, which raises that deep question. Can we truly see every moment as life's gift?
Every single moment.
Our sources remind us life itself is the most precious gift. Possessions fade, achievements are temporary, but the love given, the gratitude expressed that endures.
Mother Teresa's words. Be happy in the moment, that's enough. Each moment is all we need.
Exactly. Gratitude for life itself, for breathing, seeing, feeling, seeing it all as a blessing. That's a high spiritual attainment. It's not denying pain, but transforming perception. Finding growth catalysts everywhere, leading to thankfulness for every moment as a chance to love, be kind, experience joy.
So bringing this all together, what does this journey look like for someone? It starts the conscious exercise, but gradually becomes just
Yeah.
how you are.
Embodied gratitude.
Right. The sources describe these stages. First, the intentional practice stage. Conscious effort, reminders, journals, meditations, like tending a garden.
Building the habit.
Then, the increasing awareness stage. You start noticing gratitude moments spontaneously. A sunset, a cup of tea, a kind word. No prompting needed. More frequent, more natural.
Things just start popping out at you.
Totally. Next, the shift in perspective stage. Gratitude becomes your default lens. You get those gratitude glasses the sources talk about. You see the extraordinary in the ordinary.
The magic hidden in plain sight.
Yeah. And finally, the embodiment stage. Gratitude is integrated. It flows naturally, like breathing. It's not something you do, it's who you are.
Your operating system.
Exactly. It's about being grateful, living from that place.
And how do you know you're getting there? When it moves from practice to embodiment, the sources point to subtle but profound shifts. Present moment awareness becomes your default, not something you strive for. Wonder and awe pop up spontaneously, even in mundane moments.
Watching a bird, feeling the sun.
Exactly. Generosity flows naturally without calculation. Comparison and envy fade as you appreciate your own unique path.
Resilience strengthens you find meaning, even blessings in difficulties.
Your language shifts too, from complaint to appreciation, and relationships deepen through genuine acknowledgement.
It sounds like a beautiful transformation.
It is. But where does this journey lead? Our sources remind us it's unending, a spiral, not a straight line. Even when embodied, there's always more depth, more awareness, more thankfulness to discover.
Always revisiting things with new insights.
Yeah. Like Rumi said, there are 1,000 ways to kneel and kiss the ground. Infinite depths to explore. It's a lifelong unfolding revelation.
Okay, let's unpack this one last time as we wrap up. Gratitude, as we've seen, isn't just a practice. It's described as a revolutionary way of being in the world.
A countercultural force.
Definitely. Our culture screams, get more, achieve more, become more, always focusing on what's next, what's lacking. But gratitude whispers this different, liberating truth. You already have enough. You already are enough. This moment, right now, has everything needed for joy.
That changes everything.
It really does. It transforms ambition, not striving from lack, but flowering from abundance. We grow, not because we're insufficient, but because growth itself is a gift to appreciate.
And natural unfolding.
Yeah, the revolution starts with that simple choice. Notice, perceive, appreciate what is, instead of focusing on what's missing. This small internal shift creates those powerful ripples we talked about, touching everything. In a world that feels anxious, fragmented, your gratitude becomes a healing force.
A sanctuary.
A sanctuary for you and for everyone you meet. Your appreciation becomes this beacon, lighting up the beauty, the blessings, the connection that's always there, waiting in ordinary moments.
Beautifully put. And it brings to mind that quote from Marcel Proust. The real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes.
Perfect.
Gratitude gives us those new eyes that see the magnificence, the sacredness, even in the simple things. So this leaves an important question for you, the listener, to take forward right now. What gift of this day might you notice and appreciate? Something maybe overlooked. What person in your life deserves your heartfelt thanks? And how could you express that genuinely? And what challenge are you facing right now that might hold a hidden blessing, a lesson, a gift waiting to be discovered if you just shift your view?
Important questions.
And remember, it's a practice, a journey, not perfection. Your commitment to gratitude is a gift to yourself, yes, but also to everyone around you. A living reminder that life, with all its challenges, holds endless reasons for appreciation. It's really a journey home, to the simple joy of being alive, to connection with others and nature, and to recognizing that this moment, whatever it holds, is an unparalleled gift, worthy of our deepest thanks.